First of all, if I want to move my charts around, for example, let's say that this chart right here, I don't want on this worksheet, sheet 1, maybe I want it on sheet 2, or just move it to its own sheet like I have here on chart 1. You can either first click on the chart and come up to its related contextual design tab, click on that, and then come over here to the location group and click on move chart, or click and cancel. You want to come over here close out of the way of the grid lines here next to the border and right click. And if it's selecting the chart, then you want to try right clicking again. So I'm going to right click over here off in a blank area because I'm looking for the operative word here, move chart. Click on that and it gives me the same pop-up. So you can do it one of two ways. I find right clicking is a lot faster. Now like I said, I can move it as an object like you see here. These charts behind this screen here are little objects within the sheet, or actually have it take up its own sheet completely by saying, look, you're going to have your own sheet. I'll go ahead and click OK. Boom, it's got its own sheet here. It's called Chart 2. I can, of course, come down in here and rename the chart if I wanted to, but let's move it back now. So I'll come up here and I'll click on Move Chart. We want it as an object, not in Chart 1, but I want it as an object back in Sheet 1 with all my other charts here, and click OK, and it puts it back. All I have to do is just move it up a little bit and shrink it back just a little bit, the chart, so it fits right next to its table. So I have my embedded object charts here, and then of course in the previous training video I hit the F11 key and it created this chart all by itself in its own worksheet. I like a little title up here that defines what the chart is here, so when I give a PowerPoint presentation or maybe when I print this off, people will know what it is. So first, that you make sure that you clicked on the chart so you can bring up its related contextual tabs here, design, layout, and format, 3 of them, all referring to the chart down below. Going to come up here, click on the layout tab, come to the labels group, and we have different types of labels that we'll be covering, but first let's do the chart title. Click on the drop down arrow and it gives me 2 options. You see down here where it has a little bit of orange above the chart, that's showing me or giving me a visual example. It's going to be above the chart, or down below where it says above the chart, but it's going to resize the chart for me. Click on it, pushes the chart down just a little bit. I have my chart title text box here. Now I can change the title of it just by simply triple clicking within the box here, and then I can just start typing over it and say this is my, and then go ahead and click off in a blank area. You also notice up in the labels group we have our axis titles. We can actually title our axis. We have our vertical value y-axis, then we have our category x-axis down below. So I'm going to come up here in the labels group again on the layout tab and click on the axis drop down button, and I have my horizontal or my vertical. For my horizontal, I'm going to come over here, and I only get one other option, is to have the title below the axis. So I'll click on it, adds a little title box down below for my x-axis, and I can triple click in there to select it and then just say that this is going to be my months. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but in any case, click off in a blank area. Now let's go ahead and give our value axis a label here, the y-axis. Come up here to the labels group, click on the axis. Let's do our vertical axis, and then come over here and you got some options. I mean, you can have a rotated title or a vertical title, and it gives you the descriptions. You can have a horizontal title, but then it pushes my chart in. So I'm going to go with the vertical title to see what that looks like. Click on it, and it's vertical here. So in order for me to change this, I can just triple click within that text box and then just start typing. It's going to type it vertically here. Click off in a blank area, and it looks good. Now even after you make your modifications, you can still move your chart around. So I'm going to come over here and right click in a blank area close to the border so I can find my move chart, left click on it, and let's do it as an object in sheet 2 and click OK. Now it's in sheet 2 all by itself, and it got rid of the chart 1 worksheet here. I don't want it taking up the whole worksheet, but I can have control by clicking and dragging and making this as big as I'd like here or as small as I'd like. Now if I want to customize this, in other words change the type of chart, instead of having a column chart, maybe I want to change it to a bar chart or a line chart. Well, in any case, to change it, first have your chart selected, come up to your design tab, come over here to the type group and click on the change chart type. And let's come down here in the bar category and let's do the clustered bar in 3D. Click on it to select it and click OK. Let me go ahead and resize the chart here. I'm going to hover over the upper left hand corner, hold the shift key down and click and drag it so it stretches up, because I want to put it up in the upper left hand corner here in cell A1 so it touches there. Now because I flipped the chart from a column chart over to a horizontal bar chart, it kind of looks goofy down here. So what I want to do is to get rid of it is you can just click on the border so it's selected, then hit the delete key on the keyboard and you can delete your labels here. Even your axis title here and also your chart title, but we'll leave those are fine. Let's do a little bit of formatting for our chart. I'm looking at the Design tab here in the Chart Styles. You can click the More button, choose from any one of the styles here. Maybe something a little bit blue here, Style 3, click on that. So it's not as contrasting the colors, blends a little bit more. Next we can change the way our chart lays out, or our chart layout group on the Design tab by clicking on the More button. And you can look and see how the legend is placed. It's on the right hand side here of the bar chart, or up at the top or down at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and click on Layout 3, see what that looks like. So I got rid of my value axis title here, and if I missed it and I want it back, well, I can either hit undo or again go to my Layout tab and add my axis titles, but I'm fine with that, so I'll go back to the Design view here. And it moved the legend down to the bottom. So when you want to move your legend around, look to your chart layouts here, and then look at the previews, find out which one you want, click on it to apply it. Another cool thing that you can do to your chart is you can actually format the border of the chart. For example, I'm going to come up here and click on the Format tab. Over here to my Shape Styles group, Shape Effects, click on the drop down arrow. Come down here to Bevel, and then find one that I really like. In fact, if you hover over it, you can see the preview in the background here. And got indent, something subtle here. We'll click on Circle. You can see the bevel around the border of the chart. Now if you want to format your titles, like the title here, or you have your axis titles, just be sure to first click on the box here of the text box so you got it selected. Then I'm going to come up here to my Shape Styles group, and I'm going to click on the More button here, and then just find something that I like that looks really nice, maybe a subtle effect. Click on that, and notice that I no longer have this text box selected. So if I come up here and I start hovering over it, it thinks that I want to change the whole chart, but I don't. Again, if you just want to change the text box, be sure you have it selected, so when you hover over the different shape styles, that it just applies to that text box you have selected. And how about a little bit of word art for this text here? So I want to click on the text box, come up here to the word art styles, and click on the More button. And when I find it, I'll go ahead and click on it, and then click off in a blank area. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, as soon as I upload a new video, you'll be notified instantly, and you can do that by coming over here and clicking on my face. You can also click here to support me, so for $2 a month, you can have access to over 2,700 training videos, all ad-free, and for a few bucks more, you can have access to my exercises, instructor notes, quizzes, certificate of completion, and a whole lot more.